pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all for coming tonight. We have a lot of really nice things on our agenda tonight, recognizing both township staff and township residents who have come forward. So a few announcements. Well, is there any comment on what the agenda itself is tonight? I always say that. I don't know what you would comment on. It's here, so I say it. I have a few announcements. Council did meet in an executive session on April 12th, 2025 to discuss personnel matters. Council met again in executive session on May 5th to discuss personnel, collective bargaining, and potential litigation matters. And council met in executive session already today, May 12th, to discuss collective bargaining matters. Okay, our first action item will be by Ms. Visio.
Thank you, Ms. Chair. I move that Township Council adopt Resolution 2025-23, Officer of the Year, recognizing Officer Paul Subio's outstanding contributions to the Police Department per the attachment that I will read.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Visio. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Whitney. Any questions or comments from council or from the audience? Okay, hearing none.
Madam Chairwoman, sorry. I would like to say a word if I could.
Sure. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I moved too fast.
Thank you. Every year, our supervisory staff gather to review the efforts of our police officers and detectives and determine which member best reflected the ideals of the Plymouth Township Police Department day in and out. Overwhelmingly, our supervisors agreed upon Officer Paul Subio. Officer Subio has been with us for 8 years, most recently as a member of our Highway Patrol Unit. He comes from a family rich in law enforcement experience, both his father and uncle having served full careers in the Lower Merion Police Department, and his brother currently a member of the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office. What resonates most about Paul is his friendly demeanor, his commitment to the principles of community policing, and his eagerness to give his best on every call for service. It is my distinct pleasure to present to Council Plymouth Township's 2025 Officer of the Year, Officer Paul Subio. Thank you.
Would anyone else like to offer comments? We already know what the police department thinks because they're the ones who elected him officer of the year. Ms. Visio, would you please read the resolution and then we'll take a vote? Absolutely.
Resolution 2025-23, Police Officer of the Year, 2024. Whereas Officer Paul Subio has performed diligently and faithfully the duties and services required of him by the Township of Plymouth. And whereas the performance of Officer Paul Subio was in the highest standard of the law enforcement profession. And whereas a vote has been taken by the Police Department supervisory staff to recognize Officer Paul Subio and his outstanding contributions. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Officer Paul Subio is hereby commended for his diligent and valuable service. Be it further resolved that this resolution be entered on the official minutes of Plymouth Township and that a copy of this resolution be publicly tendered to Officer Paul Subio, adopted this 12th day of May, 2025, Plymouth Township Council, Karen R. Bramlett, Chair.
Thank you. We'll now take a vote on the resolution. There's already been motioned in. Mr. Whitney.
In favor.
Ms. Visio.
In favor.
Ms. Leonard.
In favor.
Mr. Nelson.
In favor.
And the chair votes in favor. Congratulations, officer.
I move that Township Council adopt Resolution 2025-22, declaring the week of May 11th through 17th to be National Police Week per the attachment.
All right, we have a motion by Ms. Leonard. Is there a second?
Second?
Second by Ms. Vizio. Any questions or comments about National Police Week by council? By the chief? Yes, thank you. I learned fast.
Thank you for the opportunity to stand before council and speak to a cause that I never tire of, praising the commitment and dedication of our Plymouth Township police officers. National Police Week offers us all the opportunity to reflect on the men and women who tirelessly protect and serve us, and do so with the utmost compassion and professionalism. As a shining example of their devoted service, many of our officers will be honored tomorrow by the Montgomery County District Attorney for their valiant efforts during an armed hostage situation at an area commercial business. The officers successfully prevented a tragedy while ensuring the safety of the victims as well as the perpetrator. It is crucial to appreciate, though, that the responsibility of keeping our community safe is shared with our brothers and sisters in the fire and emergency medical services. We are fortunate to partner with brave and committed emergency service providers and are grateful for all that they do to make Plymouth Township a well-cared-for community. To all of our guardians, as we celebrate National Police Week, International Firefighters Day, and National EMS Week, we appreciate you and we thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Anybody else in the public like to make any comment about upcoming National Police Week? All right, Ms. Leonard, would you please read the resolution?
Resolution 2025-22, awarded to the Police Department by Plymouth Township Council. Whereas the Congress of the United States of America has designated the week of May 11th through 17th, 2025 as National Police Week. And whereas Plymouth Township desires to honor the valor, service, and dedication of its own police officers. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Plymouth Township Council hereby proclaims the week of May 11th through 17th, 2025 to be Police Week, and calls upon all citizens in this community to especially honor and show their sincere appreciation for the police officers of this township. Be it further resolved that Plymouth Township Council likewise expresses its gratitude to the men and women in uniform who uphold the law, safeguard the citizenry, and make Plymouth Township a desirable place in which to live and work. Adopted this 12th day of May, 2025. Plymouth Township Council.
Thank you, Ms. Leonard. We'll now take a vote, and then we'll ask our police chief to come forward and accept on behalf of the department. Is that okay? Anyone else who wants to come up too? All right, take a vote. Mr. Nelson?
In favor.
Ms. Leonard?
In favor.
Ms. Vizio?
In favor.
Mr. Whitney?
In favor.
And the chair votes in favor. Congratulations.
Actually, if I might, I would ask our Police Association leadership if they would accept this on behalf of the police officers.
It's a good one.
You have to do much more baking. No.
I move that Township Council adopt Resolution 2025-24, declaring the week of May 18th through 24th, 2025 to be National Public Works Week per the attachment.
All right, we have a motion by Ms. Leonard. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Nelson. Any comments from council? From the audience? All right. Hearing none, I will ask Ms. Leonard, please, to read the resolution.
Resolution 2025-24, awarded to the Public Works Department by Plymouth Township Council. Whereas the services provided in Plymouth Township are an integral part of the residents' everyday lives, and whereas the health, safety, comfort, and quality of life for Plymouth Township residents greatly depends on these facilities and services, and whereas the members of the Plymouth Township Public Works Department are vital to the efficient operation and maintenance of township programs, including sanitary and storm sewers, streets, snow removal, solid waste and recycling collection, parks, buildings, township grounds, and township vehicles. And whereas the quality and effectiveness of these facilities and services, as well as their planning, design, and construction, are vitally dependent upon the efforts and skill of Public Works personnel. Now therefore be it resolved that in recognition of National Public Works Week, May 18th through 24th, 2025, all members of the Public Works Department be commended for their performance, and be it further resolved that this resolution be entered in the official minutes of Plymouth Township, and that a copy of this resolution be publicly tendered to the Public Works Department. Adopted this 12th day of May, 2025, Plymouth Township Council.
Thank you. And who do we have? Ms. Leonard? Oh, wait, I can think of a, yeah. Okay. All right, thank you for reading that resolution. Motion's been seconded. We'll now take a vote. Ms. Leonard?
In favor.
Mr. Nelson?
In favor.
Mr. Whitney?
In favor.
Ms. Vizio?
In favor.
And the chair votes in favor. I know that unfortunately our I know that our police interact fairly often with all of the residents, and all the residents really, really appreciate our police department. Our Public Works Department interacts with our residents every day, with our trash, with plowing our streets, repairing the roads. So it's our police force and our Public Works force who really make the township look great. I appreciate all of you guys. And by that, that's like a gender neutral term, guys, okay? All right, next we have another resolution recognition, and this will be read by Mr. Nelson.
Thank you. I move that Township Council approve Resolution 2025-2020, or 2025-26, declaring the first Sunday in May as International Firefighters Day per the attachment that I will read.
We have a motion by Mr. Nelson, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Vizio. Any questions or comments from council or from the audience? All right, Mr. Nelson, would you please read the resolution?
Yes, absolutely. Resolution 2025-26 awarded to the Plymouth and Harmonville Fire Companies by Plymouth Township Council. Whereas annually, the first Sunday in May has been designated as International Firefighters Day, and whereas Plymouth Township desires to honor the valor, service, and dedication of its own firefighters, now therefore be it resolved that Plymouth Township Council hereby proclaims Sunday, May 4th, 2025 to be International Firefighters Day and calls upon all citizens in this community to especially honor and show their sincere appreciation for the firefighters of this township. Be it further resolved that Plymouth Township Council likewise expresses its gratitude to the men and women in uniform who safeguard our citizenry, homes, and businesses and make Plymouth Township a desirable place in which to live and work. Adopted this 12th day of May, 2025.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson. I will now take a roll call vote. Mr. Nelson?
In favor.
Ms. Vizio?
In favor?
Ms. Leonard?
In favor.
Mr. Whitney?
In favor.
And the chair votes in favor. Do we have representatives from our two fire companies who can come forward and accept our cap? That would be Harmonville and Fire Company. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks, Sharon. You're so much great. I know, I'm down here. I'm telling you the tactical steps. Thank you. We really do appreciate that volunteers put their lives on the line.
On behalf of Plymouth Harmonville, we'd like to thank council and the police department, EMS, for all the assistance they give and what they give to the fire companies. It's a thankless job, but appreciate the recognition that the council and the residents give to us for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Simpson. Would anyone else like the opportunity to speak? I know we all appreciate these men and women give so much to our community. And next, by Mr. Nelson, again, the month of May recognizes so many people of valor in our community, and it is also an announcement of the National EMS Week.
Yes, thank you. I move that Township Council approve Resolution 2025-27, declaring the week of May 18th through the 24th, 2025 to be EMS Week, per the attachment that I will read in just a moment.
We have a motion by Mr. Nelson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Whitney. Any questions or comments? I hope we do have people, like I know we do from our emergency services here. If any of them would like to speak now, or I can reread it. Okay. Would you like to read our resolution, please?
Yeah, absolutely, thank you. Resolution 2025-27, awarded to the Plymouth Community Ambulance by Plymouth Township Council. Whereas the week of May 18th through 24th, 2025 has been designated as National EMS Week, and whereas Plymouth Township desires to honor the compassion, service, and dedication of its own emergency medical service providers, now therefore be it resolved that Plymouth Township Council hereby proclaims the week of May 18th through 24th, 2025 to be EMS Week and calls upon all citizens in this community to especially honor and show their sincere appreciation for the emergency medical service providers of this township. Be it further resolved that Plymouth Township Council likewise expresses its gratitude to the men and women in uniform who care and support the citizenry and make Plymouth Township a desirable place in which to live and work. Adopted this 12th day of May, 2025.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson. And I just want to say, I wasn't aware of this before being on council, but Plymouth Ambulance covers a large part of this county, and it's not just Plymouth. And they do a fantastic job coordinating and getting out there when people are really in dire straits. So
favor.
Ms. Leonard,
In favor.
Mr. Whitney,
In favor.
Ms. Vizio,
In favor.
and the chair votes in favor. We have people here from Plymouth Ambulance to come forward, please.
I think we end right at the back of the screen there. All right. Okay, we ready? Awesome, thank you.
Absolutely. Just let me come around here. Madam Chairwoman, I'd like to thank you. You are the first township out of 12 townships that we serve. This board has recognized National EMS Week. With that, extend my gratitude and appreciation for you recognizing what EMS does for the township. Regarding the police services, Chief Merciades, Chief Hoffman, and where's the other? Oh, there he is. Leniak. Once again, we work very well. I think the township is protected very well by not only Chief Merciades, Heleniak, and Hoffman, and myself as our leadership, but we have to, at least for our organization, I'd like to thank the men and women, not only the career staff and the volunteers at Plymouth Ambulance, because without them and the firefighters and the officers of the police department, this township would not be served well, and it is. Thank you very much.
I move that Plymouth Township Council adopt Resolution 2025-28, recognizing the graduates for their 10-week course of study in the Citizens Police Academy per the attachment. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Vizio. Any questions or comments from council or from the audience? Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. The Citizens Police Academy, now in its 4th year, was designed to welcome our residents behind the scenes of policing in Plymouth Township. In addition to exploring our police mission and touring our facilities, our officers introduced the cadets to arrest methods, de-escalation techniques, first aid and CPR, firearms training, criminal investigations, and much more. Our trainers were very impressed with the performance and questions raised by our cadets, but more so, we were grateful for the feedback offered throughout the program. After 10 comprehensive sessions, I'm pleased to announce that all 15 candidates successfully completed the 2025 Academy. And for fear of embarrassing 15 people, I would ask them just to briefly stand as I present to you the class of 25. Thank you.
Okay, well, don't leave yet, because, we have something for you. I just want to say that the community policing efforts by our police department are really great. They welcome children, scenes with Cop Camp, and now they've established, after 4 years, welcoming the adults to get a behind-the-scenes look. I don't know if they feed you pizza and hot dogs, but I do know they feed them to kids. Because my grandsons have both had the opportunity to go through Cop Camp. So I will now read the resolution, and then we will take a vote. Whereas the Plymouth Township Police Department, in its continuing efforts to forge strong and lasting bonds with the community, initiated a Citizens Police Academy. And whereas 8 members of our community, it's 15, isn't it? Rose to the challenge of this 10-week hands-on course of study. And whereas between the 13th of March 2025 and the 8th of May 2025, Citizens Academy students completed an intense course of study including patrol activities, criminal investigation, traffic safety, and crash investigation, forensics, first aid, use of force, and firearm safety. And whereas the Plymouth Township Police Department is grateful for the dedication and enthusiasm demonstrated by this graduating class of the Citizens Police Academy, now therefore be it resolved that Sabrina Bryant, Dennis Kavanaugh, Jane Cutler, Ian Dow, Randolph Eason, Saima Farouk, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, Amber Boyd Finch, Neil Gayro, again sorry, Anne-Marie Gavi, Linda Lawrence, Nancy Newmeyer, Teresa Petiti, Sheila Hall Prelo, Mary Bluschek, and Patricia Lovnik are hereby commended for their successful completion of the Plymouth Township Citizens Police Academy. Be it further resolved that this resolution be entered on the official minutes of Plymouth Township, and that a copy of this resolution be publicly tendered to each member of this graduating class. Adopted this 12th day of May 2025, Plymouth Township Council by Kenneth Bramblett, Chair. I'd like to take a vote on this resolution. Ms. Vizio.
In favor.
Mr. Whitney.
In favor.
Mr. Nelson.
In favor.
Ms. Leonard.
In favor.
And the chair votes in favor. And I have a copy of the resolution for each of the graduates. If you please come forward.
Second.
Second by Ms. Leonard. Any questions or comments from council or from the audience? The minutes were available on the website. Hearing no comments, we'll now take a roll call vote. Ms. Vizio.
In favor.
Mr. Whitney.
In favor.
Ms. Leonard.
In favor.
And the chair votes in favor.
I also vote in favor.
Mr. Nelson also votes in favor. Sorry, Karen. I'm gonna get used to this, scrolling around the computer, but it doesn't like my finger touch. There we go. I know how to read, I just need to get better at going through the, okay. Next, I would like to move that Township Council approve the departmental reports and schedule bills for April 2025. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Nelson. Any questions or comments from anybody on council or in the audience? Hearing none, I'll take a roll call vote. Mr. Nelson?
In favor.
Ms. Leonard?
In favor.
Ms. Vizio?
In favor.
Mr. Whitney?
In favor.
And the chair votes in favor. All right, next, and listen up, everybody, to this, and those who listen to it later. I move that Township Council approve changing the start time to 6 p.m. for the June, July, and August 2025 council regular meetings. Is there a second?
I guess I'll second this one.
Sorry, Mr. Whitney. We have a second by Mr. Whitney. Any questions or comments from council? Would Mr. Whitney like to explain why we're doing this, that it's a summer thing?
Oh yeah, we're just looking to experiment to see what it would look like starting the regular meeting also at 6 o'clock to give residents more time so you're not here super late for those of you that like to attend the meetings. And we're just doing it for the summer months right now as a pilot to see how it works and then make a decision at the end of the summer.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from anybody? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Mr. Whitney?
In favor.
Ms. Vizio?
In favor.
Mr. Nelson?
In favor.
Ms. Leonard?
In favor.
And the chair votes in favor. All right, next I have a motion for award of bid. I move that Township Council accept the bid of Glasgow Incorporated in the total amount of $214,503 for the 2025 street paving project and authorize the issuance of notice of intent to award, subject to confirmation that the contractor satisfies all requirements specified therein. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Nelson. Any questions or comments from council or from the audience? And I would just add that that was the low bid, and we have worked in the past with Glasgow Incorporated for our street paving project. With no questions or comments, I'll now take a roll call vote. Mr. Nelson?
In favor.
Ms. Leonard?
In favor.
Mr. Whitney?
In favor.
Ms. Vizio?
In favor.
And the chair votes in favor. Next is a motion to be read by Mr. Nelson.
Thank you, yeah. I move that Township Council approve the certificate of appropriateness 2025-1 for 119 West Germantown Pike, to which constitutes authority to the building and zoning officer to issue permits for the work covered per the attachment that I will read in a moment.
All right, we have a motion by Mr. Nelson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Whitney. Any questions or comments from council or from the audience? Hearing none, we will have Mr. Nelson read the certificate of appropriateness and then take a roll call vote.
Plymouth Township Certificate of Appropriateness, 2025-1. Under and by virtue of the provisions of Plymouth Township Code, Chapter 7, Historic District, Plymouth Township Council hereby issues a certificate of appropriateness to 119 West Germantown Pike, tax parcel number 49-00-04417-00-7 to enclose the front porch. The issuance of the certificate of appropriateness constitutes authority to the building and zoning officer to issue permits for the work covered. The certificate is pursuant to the action of Plymouth Township Council taken at a public meeting on Monday, May 12th, 2025, and follows the recommendation of the Historical Architectural Review Board.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson. Take a roll call vote. Mr. Nelson.
In favor.
Ms. Leonard.
In favor.
Ms. Vizio.
In favor.
Mr. Whitney.
In favor.
And the chair votes in favor. Okay. Next is a motion to be read by, Ms. Leonard.
Yes.
Yes, by Ms. Leonard.
I move that the Township Council not enforce Section 15-10 of its Code of Ordinances for the limited purpose of serving alcoholic beverages at the Greater Plymouth Community Center Park Band Shell during the summer concert series from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. on the following dates: Wednesday, June 25th, 2025, Wednesday, July 9th, 2025, and Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025. No outside alcoholic beverages are permitted. However, alcoholic beverages will be provided for purchase and consumption by a certified and insured vendor at each event. The waiver of Ordinance 15-10 shall only be limited to said dates, times, and location.
Thank you. Ms. Leonard, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Nelson. Any questions or comments from members of council?
I would just make a couple of quick comments. Just in considering this, we thought of a few things. We thought about, number one, these events are typically adult events, so very specifically, these are not at the movies where we have families and children, but these are at the adult concerts. And we know that other municipalities have done this, and they've done it safely and effectively, so we felt like this was a reasonable thing to do to sort of enhance that experience for our adult residents at concerts.
Yes, and the area where they can go will be limited. They'll only be able to stay within the band shell area. They won't be able to take those beverages to other parts of the park. They can't take it back with their families to sit there and enjoy it. We did once before have a suspension of our ordinance on one township day, and we had a beer garden. It didn't work out too well, but this is something that Parks and Recreation thought might be helpful to that experience. And we, of course, consulted with our solicitor, with our insurance company, and obviously with our police department about doing this. And I'd like to give the opportunity for anyone in the community who wants to speak about it to come forward. Just please give your name so that it can be recorded in the minutes. Anybody else like to comment on it? All right. Hearing no further comments, we'll now take a roll call vote. Mr. Whitney.
In favor.
Ms. Vizio.
In favor.
Ms. Leonard.
In favor.
Mr. Nelson.
In favor.
And the chair votes in favor. I don't know what's wrong with my fingerprint today, but it doesn't matter. Okay, next there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Whitney. Any questions or comments from council or from the audience? I will read the resolution and then we will vote. Be it resolved that the Plymouth Township of Montgomery County hereby requests a watershed restoration and protection program grant of $100,000 from the Commonwealth Financing Authority of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania to be used for improvements to an existing dry detention stormwater basin at the intersection of Caldwell Lane and Scarlet Drive in the Cardinal View neighborhood. Plymouth Township commits to provide $17,648 in matching funds to help meet the 15% match requirement for the WRPP grant. The match commitment consists of a contract with Woodrow and Associates to design and permit the proposed Cardinal View stormwater basin retrofit. Be it further resolved that the applicant does hereby designate Matt West, Township Manager, and Karen Bramblett, Chair of Plymouth Township Council, as the officials to execute all documents and agreements between the Plymouth Township and the Commonwealth Financing Authority to facilitate and assist in obtaining the requested grant. Matt West, duly qualified Secretary of the Plymouth Township, Montgomery County, PA, hereby certifies that the foregoing is a true and correct copy of a resolution duly adopted by majority vote of the Plymouth Township Council at a regular meeting held May 12, 2025. And said resolution has been recorded in the minutes of the Plymouth Township and remains in effect as of this day. And in witness thereof, he will affix and attach the seal of Plymouth Township this 12th day of May, 2025. Are there any comments or questions from the audience about this? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Mr. Nelson?
In favor.
Ms. Leonard?
In favor.
Ms. Vicio?
In favor.
And the chair votes in favor.
I would also vote in favor. I would also vote in favor.
And Mr. Whitney votes in favor as well. Okay. See, Aaron, you're not alone. A lot of resolutions today. Our next resolution will be read by Mr. Nelson.
Yes, thank you. I move that Township Council approve the First Amendment to Loan Agreement, Harmonville Fire Company Number 1, per the attachment that I will read in a moment.
All right, thank you, Mr. Nelson. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, second by Mr. Whitney. Any questions or comments from council or from the audience? Hearing none, Mr. Nelson, will you please read the loan agreement?
First Amendment to Loan Agreement made this 12th day of May 2025 by and between Township of Plymouth, a body corporate and politic, organized and existing under the laws of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, with offices at 700 Belvoir Road, Plymouth Meeting, PA 19462, and Harmonville Fire Company Number 1, a domestic nonprofit organization incorporated under the laws of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, with offices at 2100 Butler Pike, Plymouth Meeting, PA 19462. Recitals. Whereas lender and borrower are parties to that certain loan agreement dated October 29th, 2024, regarding disbursement of a 0% interest loan in equal installments over a period of 30 years, as more particularly described in the agreement, a copy of which is attached hereto and labeled as Exhibit A, and whereas lender and borrower now desire to modify and amend the agreement under the terms set forth herein. Now, therefore, in consideration of the mutual promises contained herein and intending to be legally bound hereby, the parties hereto agree as follows. Number 1, recitals. The recitals are hereby incorporated by reference as if fully set forth herein. Number 2, capitalized terms. All capitalized terms used in this First Amendment, but not otherwise defined herein, shall have the meanings ascribed to such terms in the agreement unless the context requires otherwise. Number 3, amendment. The agreement is amended as follows. A, the loan. Paragraph 1 is amended to provide that the lender agrees to lend and borrower agrees to borrow a sum not exceeding $4 million and no cents. B, disbursements. Paragraph 4C continues to hold that borrower will pay the lender the principal balance in equal installments at 0% interest, but is amended to provide that the payments will be made through a reduction of the lender's appropriations to borrower in the amount of $133,333.33 per year over a term of 30 years.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson. Are there any other comments after hearing the motion read? All right.
Well, Mr. Chair, the only thing I would comment for those who might be listening and unaware of what this is for the renovation of Harmon Fire Company's building on Germantown Pike. So it's a loan for the purpose of renovation, just in case that wasn't clear to those who were listening.
Yes, and we've worked in conjunction, obviously, with our finance director and with Harmonville as to whether or not these loan amendment terms can be met by both sides. And they've assured us, Harmonville has assured us that they can. Any other comments? All right, we'll take a roll call vote. Mr. Whitney?
In favor.
Ms. Vicia?
In favor?
Mr. Nelson?
In favor.
Ms. Leonard?
In favor.
And the chair votes in favor. All right, our next motion, and I believe it's the last motion for this evening, will be read by Ms. Vicio.
Thank you, Ms. Chair. I move that Township Council appoint John Merciades to the position of Emergency Management Coordinator for the Township, effective immediately.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Nelson. Any comments or questions from council?
Appreciate the chief's willingness to step up into this role.
Yes, I will add that this comes as no surprise to Chief Merciades, and we do appreciate you taking on this very important role, because as we know, emergency management coordinator has become something that we really want to keep up to date. We all know the emergencies that have happened close to us. A plane landing on a residential street in Philadelphia, in a neighboring community, an industrial fire at the SBS Industries that closed schools and roads and businesses and required some evacuations. So we really appreciate Mr. Merciades taking on the job of making sure that we have obviously an emergency management plan, but to make sure that it is as up to date as possible. So thank you, Chief, very much for that. Any comments from the audience? All right, hearing none, we will take a roll call vote. Mr. Nelson?
In favor.
Ms. Leonard?
In favor.
Mr. Whitney?
In favor.
Ms. Vicio?
In favor.
And the chair votes in favor. All right, we will now move on to the informational portion of our township meeting. And our first one will be Ms. Vicio, in conjunction with some comments by the chief of police.
Thank you, Ms. Chair. So I'd like to announce that there will be a Police Department Town Hall on May 17th, 2025, from 11 to 1 p.m. That'll be held at the Community Center, and it'll be a great opportunity to hear from the chief. I'll let him tell you a little bit about the plan, but we'll also have members of council there, so it's a great opportunity for others to engage with members of council. There'll be representatives from our fire companies and our ambulance company as well, so just all around a great opportunity to hear from our emergency services providers and to engage. And Chief, if there's anything you'd like to add, we'd love to hear it.
And this will be on a Saturday, so we hope a lot of people can come out to the community center. This will be a real information-packed and fun-packed, as always with our police department event.
When there's food, so that's always a draw.
There's always great food
Well, you've stolen everything I had to say.
Oh.
I was going to entice everyone with the sandwiches and sweets, but it,
Well, you can detail the food. We just had food.
it'll be very informative. We're going to talk about our past year, all the things that were accomplished, the goals that we set, the accomplishments, and then we're going to look ahead to the things that we have in the works that we want to do. We certainly want to get feedback from the community. I've even reached out to members of the community and invited them, and I'm happy to share the stage with them as well as with council to talk more on some of these issues that they have even more knowledge on and they're involved in, whether it's members of the school district, some of our social justice organizations, communities that are caring for the unhoused. So there'll be, no topic is off limits. We encourage people to ask questions, and we are excited to have our emergency service brothers and sisters there with us as well. They'll be recruiting, they'll have a lot to say about the community as well, and they'll field questions also. And there'll be good sandwiches and pretzels and sweets. And I did want to just mention, because I do like to keep council and the community up to date on the social service co-responder program that we have. Even though that's only a part-time program, our social service co-responder had 107 contacts in the month of April. I mean, she really loves what she does. She's across the board, she's hitting everything. Nothing's off limits. Anything that she sees that even remotely would be of value, she reaches out. And the people have responded very positively. They're thrilled that we have this program. They're wondering why their own townships don't have this program. But it's been a terrific thing, and we get along very well with her also. She helps with our officers as well, interacts. So it's been eye-opening, and in a very short period of time, a lot has been accomplished. I think 2.5 months, and she's already reached out to about 250 people. That's pretty impressive. So I wanted to thank her and just keep up council on how that program is going.
And that's another innovation that Chief Mirciotti has developed for our police department. You know, when the police officers go to the academy, they learn how to handle a lot of situations. The social work is not really their profession. They are law enforcement officers. So by having this co-responder, who's kept safe as well, go with them, she has knowledge of a lot of services that may be needed in addition to the crisis call that brought the police there. And she can link people up with our many county services if there are follow-up medical needs, housing needs, caretaker needs, just a whole host of things. And it frees up the time of our police officers to do what they do the best while she takes care of some of these follow-ups. So, you know, we talked about the cop camp and the Citizens Police Academy, and having a co-responder social worker is yet another innovation that our police department has brought to us, and we really appreciate that, all of your officers in New Township. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next I have an announcement to make on the permit and registration portal announcement. We are pleased to announce that the permit and registration portal is now live on the township website. Residents, contractors can now conveniently apply for permits, submit registrations, and track their application status online. To access this portal, please visit www.plymouthtownship.org and click on the permit and registration portal icon. We encourage everyone to take advantage of this new tool to streamline the application process and improve service efficiency. If you have any questions or if you need any assistance, you can contact the Code Enforcement Department, and their telephone is 610-277-4103. And I think this will really free up a lot of time for our Because I don't really know how it operates, the nitty-gritty. All right. Next announcement. Okay, comes from our fire marshal, Mike Matichevsky. And he wants everyone to be aware of the township's burn permits. Fire pits, chimeneas, I don't know how to pronounce that, and campfires are an enjoyable outdoor activity, especially in the spring and fall, when the temperatures are nice enough to be outside, but cool enough to be sitting next to a fire. However, the burning must be done responsibly. Open burning is allowed in Plymouth Township with the burn permit issued by the Plymouth Township Fire Marshal's Office. The permit applications are free and can be obtained from the township's website or coming into the code department's desk here in the township building. A list of the requirements are included with the permit application form. A burn permit is good for 5 years and then must be reapplied for again. But your barbecue grills do not require a burn permit. If you have any questions, you can contact the Fire Marshal's Office at 610-277-4311. Any questions about this reminder about burn permits? All right, next we will move to our citizen board vacancies to be announced by Ms. Leonard.
Residents wishing to serve on these citizens' boards are asked to submit their resume or a letter expressing their interest to the township manager at 700 Belvoir Road, Plymouth Meeting, PA, or via email to mwest@plymouthtownship.org. The following citizen board positions are currently open. Property Maintenance Code Appeals Board, 3 positions open. Human Relations Commission, 1 position open.
Thank you, Ms. Leonard. An announcement of our upcoming zoning hearings will be read by Mr. Whitney.
Zoning Hearing Board of Plymouth Township will hold a public hearing on Monday, May 19th, 2025, commencing at 7 p.m. in the Plymouth Township Building, 700 Belvoir Road, Plymouth Meeting, PA 19462, on the following applications. Scott M. Vogt on an application for variance from Plymouth Township Zoning Ordinance number 342 as amended Article 19, Section 1908.1. The variance requested is as follows. Construct a 12-foot by 24-foot shed where a 12-foot by 12-foot is maximum size allowed. The property is located at 206 Township Line Road in an AA residential zoning district. Ridge Pike Car Connection LLC, doing business as Raceway Kia, on an application for variance from Plymouth Township Zoning Ordinance number 342, as amended Article 14, Section 1400. The variance requested is as follows. Permit exterior storage of inventory for automobile dealership. The property is located at 435 School Lane in Limited Industrial Zoning District. Matthew DeCipio on an application for variance from Plymouth Township Zoning Ordinance number 342 as amended Article 19, Section 1909.e. The variance requested is as follows: to allow a fence to be installed in a front yard setback. The property is located at 814 Belvoir Road in B Residential Zoning District. Any citizen of Plymouth Township or interested party may attend the public hearing and have an opportunity to be heard.
Thank you, Mr. Whitney. Next, we have a series of informational announcements regarding Parks and Recreation by Mr. Nelson.
Thank you. So these are the upcoming events for our Plymouth Township Parks and Rec Department. First of all, you can register now for summer day camp and 1-week specialty camps. Next, Saturday, May 24th, we have the PA Native Tree and Bird Outing with HWP. What does that stand for? Do we know? Oh, at Harriet Weatherhill Park. All right. And then after that, a week after that, on Saturday, May 31st, is Plymouth Township Day 2025. So just so everyone's aware, we have a lot of the same things that we had last year, but we have a handful of new things. So I'm just going to list off the things that we have from last year, and then I'll make sure everybody knows what the new additions are this year. So first of all, we have Rita's Water Ice, Streetside Barbecue Food Truck, and Chick-fil-A. We have inflatables. There's a pre-purchase and wristband to save. I'll get to that later. Community groups, crafts, and local businesses. Plymouth Little League concession stand, a DJ, RC monster trucks, petting zoo, face painting, balloon artist, bago tournament. And the following are the new things we have this year. So we have Fuzzy Munchies food truck. We have Grandpa Bubbles, which is somebody who apparently makes shapes out of bubbles, which sounds very interesting. We have a ninja obstacle course, caricatures, family yoga, and children's gold mining, which sounds the most interesting to myself. But so this is what I was getting to, purchase your wristband at the GPCC before May 30th to save. After that, we have on Monday, June 2nd, the Pride flag raising ceremony at the GPCC. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we have pickup table tennis and cornhole at the GPCC. On Saturday, June 14th, we have the community yard sale at the MCCC. We have on Wednesday, June 18th, outdoor movie. It's Moana 2. And then on Wednesday, June 25th, we have a concert. It's the Back to the 70s band. And then on Wednesday, July 2nd, we have an outdoor movie, Inside Out 2. And then on Tuesday, August 5th, we have Save the Date National Night Out. We need sponsors for the movies and concerts ASAP, so anybody interested, please reach out to Phil at our Plymouth Township Parks and Rec. And if you want any further details, they are available on the Parks and Rec brochure app website, on their social media, or by calling 610-277-4312.
All right, thank you, Mr. Nelson. And the Pride flag raising ceremony is something new this year. We have, for the past several years, flown the Pride flag throughout the month of June, which is Pride Awareness Month, and we want to have a ceremony raising that flag, so that will be a morning ceremony at the GPCC. Although we fly the flag here at the Township Building and at the GPCC, more people are familiar with going to the GPCC. And our last announcement will be by Ms. Vizio.
Sure, I have a few updates for our friends from Cunnytown. So on the crosswalk, two updates. On April 14th, council voted to award the bid to the lowest responsible contractor. I think folks know that. It was from our last meeting. And then on May 7th, the contract documents were signed, submitted to Carroll Engineering for execution, and a start date should be determined as soon as the contract has been fully executed. So we're close to being underway. Mr. West, I don't know if you have any additional insight into that date. I suspect folks might ask.
Yep, thank you. I don't have a start date yet, but our traffic engineer said once the contract has been fully executed, it should take about a month from start to finish. So I would say conservatively, let's give ourselves 2 months, should be done. I don't see any issues with the contract that was submitted, and it's right now it's pending the start of the contractor's availability. So it'll start as soon as he's available, they are available, and it would last about a month.
Yep. Our second topic is speed reduction measures, and as many of you may know, that we held a public town hall on Wednesday, April 30th. The meeting was held here in the Township Building from 6 to 8. It included presentations from the Township's traffic engineer and our very own Chief of Police. We provided time, about 60 minutes, for Q&A from our audience. The meeting was very well attended. We had about 70 people show up in person. Another 50 were virtual attendees, and I know a number of people actually watched it after the fact as well and have commented. The next steps include Council's final consideration to adopt the draft, right now, traffic calming policy, which is available on our website if anyone's interested in taking a look and reviewing that to see what the policy is. We did allude to parts of it during our town hall meeting, but if anyone wanted to see it in its entirety, it's available. And we also need to have a final preparation for an application form, which our staff will develop and residents would use when they are applying for traffic calming measures in their neighborhoods. So more to come on that shortly, but everything is moving forward as planned, and I think things will be in place pretty quickly with that application. And the only other update is just that all of the March and April updates were posted to our website. So if anyone wants to go back and look at updates from the last couple of months, those are available on the website. And as always, these will be published as well shortly thereafter.
Thank you, Ms. Vizio. We'll now move to the part of the meeting where we have audience participation. Anyone in the audience, please come up and just give us your name, and we don't need your full address. Just let us know if you do live in Plymouth Township.
If you don't mind, I have a brief prepared remark.
Sure.
Thank you.
Just give us your name.
Kevin Bish, 1010 Plymouth Road, where I've resided for 14 years. I'm here to speak in opposition to the proposed idea or concept of changing the zoning at 523 to 525 Plymouth Road. I understand no final decision has been made yet, at least to my knowledge. Let me be clear, this proposal benefits only two parties. The property owner, EQT Real Estate, looking to offload a struggling investment. The developer, Sal Paone, seeking the profit by converting commercial land into housing. But the costs fall entirely on the surrounding community, those of us who live here now. There's no legal obligation to rezone this land. Zoning decisions are discretionary, and neither EQT nor Mr. Paone have a right to a zoning change just because the preferred use is more profitable. This is not a hardship. An underperforming office park is not a legal hardship. It's a market risk, not a reason to rewrite the zoning map. The proposal raises spot zoning concerns. Changing zoning for one parcel solely for private gain and out of step with the surrounding framework could be challenged as illegal spot zoning under Pennsylvania law. It also appears inconsistent with the township's comprehensive plan. Under the Pennsylvania Municipalities Planning Code, Section 303, zoning changes must align with that plan. If this land isn't designated for residential development, then approving this rezoning may not be legally sound. And more broadly, this sets a dangerous precedent. If commercial owners can't find tenants and the solution is to rezone for housing, what stops every struggling property owner, and there's plenty of them in the township, from doing the same? That would erode the integrity of our zoning system. I think I speak on behalf of the neighborhood when I say we like the office park as it stands: quiet, well-maintained, and low traffic. It serves as a buffer between the turnpike and the residential neighborhoods. The through road is useful to the community and poses no current burden. Adding over 100 homes will bring more traffic, more people, and greater strain on our roads and public services. Let's be realistic. Residential development of that scale places more pressure on the infrastructure than a quiet, underutilized office park. To be clear, I'm not anti-development. Years ago, I stood in this very building and supported the development of the Driscoll Tract in the single-family homes under Sal Paone, which, Karen, you may remember, and some others who have been here that long. That was vacant land. It was a farm, which I dearly miss. But it was inevitable something would be built there. And so we took the measure to support Sal and his desire to build single-family homes as it seemed the best use for that land. This is different. The land is already developed. What's being proposed is not filling a gap. It's disrupting a stable, functional area for private enrichment purposes. And let's remember the community put up with nearly 3 years of construction, debris, and road damage during the Driscoll project. I can't tell you how many pieces of Tyvek and plastic I picked up off my lawn from that development. Every time they put a shingle on the roof and they pulled plastic off the back, I can't tell you how many of those I picked up on my lawn for 3 years. Pieces of Tyvek, debris in the roads. I got a flat tire from a nail. It just was massively inconvenient for 3 years. I emailed Sal. He did what he could. With respect to those who live there now at the Driscoll Tract, the final result feels sterile and disconnected, with rows of fences in the backs of homes facing the neighborhood. It doesn't look like the concept plan did. It doesn't have the berm along Johnson Road that the concept plan was supposed to have, or the appealing sidewalk that was on the concept plan. It just doesn't look like it was supposed to. Zoning is not a right. It must serve the public interest, not just private profitability. On behalf of myself and many neighbors, I ask the council to reject this rezoning request if he brings it forward in the best interest of the broader community. If this moves forward, it won't be without resistance. Some of you may remember when the Driscoll Tract was set to become 140 townhomes before Sal Paone presented his proposal, we filled this room, and I'll do it again. So thank you for your time. I appreciate any feedback on what steps I might need to take to help move this in my direction.
Thank you, Mr. Bish. I do want to let you know that we're in the process of planning another town hall on the issue of development. And we were careful during our traffic calming town hall to, and obviously traffic is a part of development, so that we can have a separate town hall just on concerns such as you have and other residents and property owners may have about development. We don't have a date yet, but we would like to do it as soon as possible. And I would encourage you and your neighbors to attend that and, make your concerns known. We will try to get, as we did with the traffic calming one, some professionals in here to provide an educational and process background, and then provide, as we did with our last town hall, ample time for people to be able to voice their concerns. Because we do want to hear from residents, and so certainly we will let you know when we have a date for that town hall.
Thank you. I appreciate your time.
Sure, thank you. Those are very well prepared remarks, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Most of you know me, Sheldon Simpson, Clover Lane. Got Kevin beat by about 25 years. But I'm not as graceful as Kevin is speaking, so I'll just tell you, I'm here with multiple hats. One as a business owner, one as a resident, and one as the president of the fire company. It's that time of year. Spring has popped. Our local flowers have bloomed, the orange cones, and the construction work. It's inevitable. It's not a problem. I get it. It has to be done. I spoke to our manager a little bit before the meeting about this. It's not so much the work they do, it's the poor quality of repairs they do. Germantown and Plymouth Road is horrendous. As township officials, the wear and tear on the police vehicles and township vehicles has to be taking a toll. They just put a new, whatever they did on Germantown Pike Cross from Harmonville, it's just like a indented speed bump. It's ridiculous. We need to hold these contractors accountable. If they're going to patch the roads temporarily, patch them sufficiently. Don't throw some tar down and say, oh, we're done, we'll be back to fix it. That's not acceptable. It's not acceptable at all. And that includes the construction on Ridge Pike that we have to take our trucks down through on a regular basis that is destroying $1 million and $2 million vehicles. These aren't cheap vehicles to purchase, let alone maintain. And it's just unacceptable that the county supervisors who oversee the road construction let this happen, and that our township people let the local stuff happen that's going on. It's just unacceptable. If I'm not mistaken, in 2008 or 10 or something, Chris proposed a ordinance that we pave half of a roadway when they do construction. Is that still in effect? Does anybody know? Matt, it's hard to put you on the spot. I know you're new. It doesn't seem like we're doing that, and I know a lot of times it's hard to tell because a lot of this is temporary until they come back in the spring and mill and repave. But just some of the, I mean, I don't know how much people drive the township. I'm up and down these roads all day long. Probably only one ahead of me is the police and the township trash trucks. And it's just ridiculous. I mean, Chief, you got to admit, Germantown and Plymouth is just horrendous. I mean, they just threw some muck down and said, okay, we're good. And it's like going through, the craters on the moon. And going towards Germantown, towards East Norton, up the top of the hill of the mall, It is so bad, you have to stop to go through that one dip there now. That's how bad it's gotten. So we need to get, the Public Works Department out there, getting these contractors back and saying, hey, fix it right, or we're gonna fix it and fine you. It's just something needs to be done. I really hope that we look into this and really, put our foot down and say, hey, this is our township, do it right or don't work here. Now, we have say what these contractors come in and do with, whether it's a water company or they're doing it for PICO, we still have a say, it's our roads. And if it's not our roads, then we need to get on the county and make sure that they're getting these people to do their job. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will look into this and see what avenues the township has for these state and county roads where the work is being done. The three that you mentioned, I know are not township.
Yeah, I know.
Of course, even township lines straddles two townships with
Yeah.
Payne and us.
I know a lot of it's not, but I know that we can, you make phone calls, you write letters, it's usually in one ear out the other, but maybe we can put a little more pressure with our state reps and say, hey, that, they have people who oversee this work as they're doing it. They have, white helmets that are looking to make sure they're doing it right. And obviously they're sleeping or not there or not doing the job. So,
So we'll see what we can do as a township, what avenues, and thank you for bringing this to our attention, especially the three heavily traveled roads you mentioned, Germantown Pike, Township Pond Road, and Ridge Pike. So thank you.
I know one in Germantown in front of the firehouse is really bad. They just did that within the last week.